Ryobi knows table and mitre saws. First, make sure the saw is unplugged. Pull out the lock pin to release the blade arm and allow it to move upwards. Rotate the lower blade guard upward and expose the Phillips head screw that holds the blade bolt cover in place. Loosen the screw and rotate the blade bolt cover up and out of the way to expose the hex head blade bolt. Push the spindle lock button in and rotate the blade bolt until the spindle lock engages fully, stopping the blade bolt from rotating. Loosen the blade bolt using a 10mm 12mm combination wrench. Note the placement of the outer washer and remove it as well. Put a drop of machine oil on the inner blade bolt washer. Do not remove the inner washer. If it is missing, replace it before replacing the blade. Slide the replacement saw blade up past the lower blade guard and onto the blade spindle. The blade teeth should point downward at the front of the saw. Ryobi saw blades have rotation arrows that help you double check that the saw blade is installed to rotate in the correct direction. Press the spindle lock button in to lock the spindle and reinstall the blade bolt. Replace the blade bolt cover and install the blade bolt cover screw. Position a combination square to check that the blade is square to the saw fence and saw table. If the blade is not square, refer to the instructions in the manual for squaring the blade to the fence and table. Now we'll show you how to change the blade on a Ryobi table saw. You'll need the 2 spanners that came with the saw and a Phillips head screwdriver. First, undo the 2 Phillips head screws that hold in the throat plate and then remove it. Then raise the blade up to its maximum level. This makes it easier to work on. Use the larger open-ended spanner on the nut on the right-hand side of the blade and the smaller on the left-hand side. Grip the blade and push the right-hand spanner away from you as if it's a left-handed thread. When the nut comes loose, reach down and unscrew it. Then lift out the blade, holding the nut and washer against it. Replace the blade, reversing the procedure, remembering to tighten the nut counterclockwise. Then replace the throat plate and tighten the screws. Ryobi, power tools that won't quit.